Good morning. Welcome to the Delaware County, February 7th, 2022, 9:02 meeting. Would we please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Craycraft, please.
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Ms. Reagan.
Present.
Mr. Brooke.
Yes, here.
Okay. Well, first thing, we have some appointments to the Yorktown Library. Kimberly Pike has volunteered to serve. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion we approve the appointment request.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. And now the minutes of the 24th meeting. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Okay, under contracts, consulting service with Dr. Lynn Whitty. Dr. Whitty's here today, and she has been doing many hours around Delaware County and Muncie, helping the mental health field, and she's been doing this on her own. And I thought it was kind of appropriate that we hire her as a consultant to help us with some of this factors that we have coming up with our ARP coming in. And John, I believe you wrote this service up agreement.
I did. I drafted the services agreement. Dr. Whitty had no charge for her time and just paid the expenses, any expenses that are approved by the commissioners.
Well, she spent a lot of time with each of us. And
Dr.
on
Whitty,
the
would you like to
phone.
go over and introduce yourself to the public and
We
fill them in on your background?
appreciate all the information she's given us this far.
Thank you, and I appreciate everything all three of you are doing. I'm Dr. Lynn Whitty. I am a retired pulmonary critical care physician. I've had lots of experience with addiction, both as a physician and community-based consultant, pretty much on my own. I've been involved in many of the current work and hopefully future work in addiction and mental health issues in the community. I also am faculty at IU School of Medicine, and I'm also on numerous committees, but my other position is medical and outreach director of the Healthy Lifestyle Center at Ball State University. And so I have been working with all of you. I appreciate all that you're doing, and the reason I've spent a lot of hours is because I believe in bringing addiction and mental health services to Delaware County that is incredibly lacking. So I look forward to that, and that's why I invest my time.
We appreciate all that you've volunteered, how many years now, but we're looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
So,
I make a motion we approve the consulting agreement.
Second.
roll call, please.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you very much. Okay, the Ritter Strategic Services, Barry here. Oh, Fred's
Fred's
here.
here.
Okay.
So basically, this is an addendum to the current consulting contract. Due to a recent retirement, we are going to need to contract with Ritter Strategic Services to finish the CAD build, which we've been working on. And this is simply an addendum to his current contract to add that as a piece of the consulting.
Okay, thank you, Fred. And what's your
John,
pleasure?
you've reviewed it, correct?
I have. It's just an addendum to what Barry's been doing because of, as Fred indicated. So
I'll make a motion we approve the addendum to the prior agreement.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you, Fran. And we have the Lockmuller group here for inventory.
That's my project.
Okay. thank you.
This is a supplement or amendment to an existing project we've been having ongoing for about 4 years. And this is to perform more inspections on our large structures. Marta has programmed funding in her planning document. So I'm just asking for your approval. This amendment is for $62,500, which 80% is reimbursable.
We appreciate Marta coming up with the money and
Me too.
look forward to getting this. It's mostly like culverts and,
Yeah, a bridge is considered anything that spans more than 20 feet or larger. So everything underneath that, we try to pick up with our inventory for
yeah.
culverts.
It's about time we finally figure out how many we have and not enough money to cover.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I make a motion we approve the amendment with Lockmuller.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you very much. Now, Highway Department, Angie.
Yes, I advertised for our annual material bids. I spoke with John and all three of you before this meeting. Bids were due at noon on Friday, but the building was closed. I have not received any emails or phone calls with concerns they couldn't get their bid in, but John made a suggestion, which I felt was fair, to extend it to today at noon. So if we could go ahead and open what we do have, and if we receive anything up till noon today, we can open up the next meeting.
Denise
Now-
didn't say.
Yeah.
There wasn't any on their bills.
Okay. Auditor doesn't have any yet, so.
Well, I know one told me they turned it in Tuesday.
I'll have somebody check and see if Denise got any, but she didn't say anything
She
about it.
didn't, yeah, she didn't tell me it was there.
It's perfect, then we can just wait till the next meeting to
Okay.
open them all.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Do we want to officially extend it to the next meeting?
Do you want to extend the bids to the next meeting?
Yeah.
Or just have the bids open today, since it's technically the next business day after the closing?
You just do it until noon, and then we can just
Okay.
open the bids.
That's fine.
On the 22nd at our next meeting.
I'm good with that.
So they all come in by noon today. Okay. Want a motion on this or just table it?
Just for the record, you ought to have a motion to extend the time period to accept bids till noon today.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Okay. Miss Moynihan.
This is my final contract to present in front of you today. This is contract supplement number 4. This is for Bridge 161. We just replaced this bridge. This is for mitigation monitoring for the next 3 years. It's a $0 supplement. We still had money left on the contract. I just need your approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
This, for the record, Angie, tell us where the bridge is located again, or tell the public.
Oh, okay. It's west of Wapahani School, if you're familiar with that area. One end of the bridge is 167 south, and the other end of the bridge is 172 south. It's in Liberty Township. The bridge has been closed for several years, so it's nice to see it. If no one's had a chance to take a look at it, it looks really nice.
It's a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
bridge. They did a nice job. There is a lot of trees out there.
Yeah,
They put
there
in,
is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Agreement to provide services to the Delaware County Election Board. Mr. Spangler.
Well, Mr. Spangler is still at the county building since filing deadline was extended till today at noon, so he needed to be there. He asked me to cover this for him. The election board made a determination to retain the services of Donald McClellan to represent the election board. I've looked at the contract, it's fine. I don't see any problem with it. Comes out of the election board money to pay him, so.
I make a motion, we approve the agreement for legal services for the election board.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes. Thank you. And then we have the Ball Brothers grant from the Sheriff's Department. Miss Chief Deputy Stanley's here.
Yes, Jeff Stanley with the Sheriff's Office. So this is a grant from the Ball Brothers Foundation. We've been asked to apply for. It's a $25,000 grant, which would go towards cybersecurity, which is a Operation Cyber Tooth that we've been working with ourselves, Ball State and Muncie Police for several months now. So if we're awarded this grant, it'll go to purchase equipment to mitigate cybersecurity crimes.
I make a motion we approve the request.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Riggin.
Yes.
Just as a point of order, there's an ordinance coming up that would create the fund for this.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. And then the Muncie Land Bank, I believe Mr. Lowe's here and Mr. West.
Good morning. So I
Morning.
first need to ask permission. We're probably going to go around 10 minutes. Is that okay?
I think
Or
we
less?
can-
We'll talk
yeah.
real fast. So thank you for allowing us to talk about the Muncie Land Bank. Our intent today is just to provide you an update on the Muncie Land Bank. I am Jim Lowe. I'm the AVP of Facilities Planning and Management at Ball State University. I serve on the Land Bank. Also with me today is Megan Jennings, who's our Executive Director, and John West, who is the President of the Land Bank. So let me quickly provide you a little chronicle about the Land Bank. It was actually in July of 2016, and you should have a handout. Do they have that handout? That might benefit you first.
Thank you.
Should say Dr. West, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
So it was in July of 2016 that Indiana enacted the law that allowed the land banks to be formed. It was in July of 2017 that Muncie, by ordinance, passed through City Council the land bank opportunity. In April of 2018, the board was created and adopted bylaws. And then in March of this past year, 2021, we actually completed our first property auction. So it kind of gives you a chronicle, a history, and we're still kind of maneuvering through the process and how to become a better asset to you all. And that's our intent today, is to convey to you that we're a resource. We hope to be a resource to you. And if you have any questions at the end about that, certainly let me know. But in that handout, you have our mission statement, which is acquire abandoned and blighted property, and try to put those back on the tax rolls. So they provide some resources for Delaware County and the city of Muncie. There are a lot of properties, as you can see, that are considered vacant and abandoned, 2,200 and 2,400. That is a lot of properties. 60% of those are considered, 60% of the properties in Muncie, Delaware County, are considered distress. That doesn't mean that they're all in a condition where they need some support, but there are about half of those that are in areas that we want to improve so they don't become distressed. So it's being proactive and reacting at the same time. We have sold 31 of the 39 properties we've been getting access to. And how do we do that? When we acquire those properties, either through the county or the city, we will eliminate the liabilities, we will clear the titles, and then we put it out for auction. So the auction is a 30-day process. Been kind of slow with some things that have been transitioning here recently. And when we offer those to those who bid, it's offered to the, not entirely the highest bidder, but it's the best bidder that we believe in our minds will have the intent to move in and increase those properties' values and keep them updated. A little bit about our board on page 2. John West and Jason Donetti serve as an appointee by the mayor. Brad King, Marta Moody, and myself serve as an appointee by the City Council. Melanie White is an appointee by Delaware County Treasurer's Office. And Heather Williams and Annette Phillips are Muncie Land Bank appointees. You can see from that page the amount of money we raise and we need to support our executive director and the cost that it takes to go through the process of clearing these titles and going through the other costs of maintaining those facilities once we take those over. You can see our partners. It's growing. I think we're making progress and traction with a lot of different partners in Muncie and Delaware County. So I'll pause there. Any questions of me before I turn it over to John West? Good?
No, thank you. Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to inform you that the Muncie Land Bank just completed a strategic planning process that was conducted by the same consultants that Delaware County used for its own strategic plan. And the last 2 pages of the document that I've shared with you included the information that the planning consultants gave to the Muncie Land Bank. And the basic gist of it is that Delaware County has too many vacant properties and low property value. Well, this is specifically Muncie. But if you look on page 7, our vacancy rate for Delaware County is 13%. For the city of Muncie, it's 16%. And obviously, most of the vacant properties in Delaware County are located in older cities and primarily the city of Muncie. And so what we're asking for here today is the ability to communicate more freely with the county commission about requests for properties. So the Muncie Land Bank has staff, and we are reaching out to people people who would want to take property and reuse it. And so what we would like to be able to do is ask the county commissioners for the permission to take a certain number of properties on an annual basis. Right now with our capacity, we're probably talking somewhere in the 10 to 20 range. We have partners who we have vetted. So they have development proposals that we have looked into. We've looked into their background in terms of whether or not they've reused property successfully in the past. And so our goal today is to let you know that we would like to establish a process for asking for properties that have gone through the tax lien sale once, with the goal of turning those over to vetted and well-examined people who will reuse those properties. And so with that, I would just point out that one thing that distinguishes the land bank over the past year is that we started and have successfully run 10 property auctions. And in each of those property auctions, we've had people bid on the properties, and we've gone through an administrative process to make sure that those bidders are not scammers, right? They're not people who are going to take the property and sit on it with some kind of scheme in their mind that will never be realized. And so I want to recognize that there are so many people in this community who want to do good work, and we've encountered a lot of them. Have the Meredith brothers here today who have interest in some properties. And we really want to help those people, and we really want to help you. So thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to talking more in the future.
Well, thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. West. Anytime we can help you, I don't know how the other commissioners feel, but I know that Joe Retz has worked with Treasurer Carroll on getting some of our properties eliminated, so.
You're talking about 10 or 20 a year that you would rehab or fix. I agree. I mean, we want to get these back on the tax roll. I think the only problem we had in the past is we've handed some properties over, and sometimes they have sat idle.
Yeah.
And I personally don't want to see that, but I would be happy to do that, and maybe you guys could give us a progress report over, a period of 6 months or something on how this, how the upgrades or the sales of the properties would go. I think it'd be great.
It's very impressive. You've had 10 property auctions already and gotten rid of.
You guys, in the auction, do you set a minimum bid?
Yeah, but it's very low. It's $300.
I got you. Good.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested.
Yep, I would too.
Well, thank you very much. And we will do a progress report as well. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John, I don't think we need do we need to make a motion on that, or?
No, just when they make a request, then
Yeah,
you can evaluate it and
we trust Treasurer Carolyn. Okay, down under ordinance, and ordinance number 2022-001 for the Health Department. Is Jamie here today?
this is the Health Department got a rapid response grant from the State Department of Health. It's identified in the ordinance itself. And they're requesting that you introduce so they can set up a fund. I think the money is available. They just need to have the fund to put it in, and
I
they'd
think he
ask you to
wanted to
suspend the rules.
suspend the rules,
Yeah.
okay.
I make a motion, we introduce ordinance 2022-001.
Second.
Roll call,
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
yes.
I make a motion, we suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call,
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
yes.
I make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call,
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Craycraft. Okay, ordinance 2022-002. Is this the one that,
This is for the
oh,
court
Emily's there.
system. Emily's
Okay.
here.
Mrs. Anderson.
Good morning.
Mrs. Anderson.
Emily Anderson, Court Administrator. And it just so happens this is Dr. West, part of Dr. West, and I talked about an idea. So our self-help center, we have a volunteer attorney 2 afternoons a week to help people fill out forms. So part of this money goes to that. The other part of this money is before the pandemic, we had a class that we wanted pro se or self-represented litigants to go to help them in court, which helps the judges and it helps the people. Well, we haven't done that since pandemic because it's hard to do with all the restrictions. We're taking part of this money to staff a intern, to pay an intern to take all these classes and turn it into videos online, which will be interactive, and then they have to have a certificate at the end showing they completed that. So that part of this is for the to pay that intern to convert all of these to videos and put on our website. This money is available, so I would like to suspend the rules if you can and adopt today.
Make a motion, we introduce 2022-002.
I'll second.
Roll call,
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
yes.
Make a motion, we suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call,
Mr. King.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
yes.
Make a motion, we adopt.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Wonderful idea. Okay. Okay, now, are there any department heads that'd like to step forward?
I think we should thank the highway department,
Well, yes.
sheriff's department, and all the small towns, EMS, and everybody for the job well done over Thursday and Friday and the weekend.
EMA,
Job.
Tino and Kyle Johnson, they did an awesome job also of putting everything together and keeping everybody together, and thanks to everybody.
Yeah, I was very impressed on communications and
We'll need to also thank the city of Muncie and MSD for
city
For their help.
sanitary. Worked out well.
I guess I'm up next again too, huh?
Go ahead.
I'm going to hand out something really quickly.
Hey, good reading.
Steve, you want a copy?
Thank you.
So, I'm sure you're aware that we've lost our Rock 10 shredding. They've said that they don't want to do it anymore. It's too much of a liability. So I started looking into shredding companies, and I found a really good deal. But before I wanted to go into an agreement, there's no contract to sign. I wanted to ask the commissioners, what do you want us to do? Because I'm sure there's other departments. I've only hit the Justice Center. There's only 3 departments in the Justice Center that needs it or wants it. That is the clerk's office, the courts, and probation. So what you have in front of you is their cost, which their original quote to me was more than this, and then when I told them how many bins I wanted, they gave me a discounted price. The discounted price was about $20 off the original bin and then $3 off each additional, so they gave me quite a discount. But with 5 bins, which is what we need for our 3 departments, $109 a month. And we split that bill, it's going to be $36 a month for each department. So about $436 a year. So if you add one more department in, it brings it down to $31 a month with one more bin. So either I didn't know if you were going to take that on, the cost, or if we wanted all the departments to know about this before we have 3 different companies coming in here, because I don't know if anybody at the county building or the highway or wherever needs shredding. So that's why I wanted you to see this. There's no signed contract. They just ask for 60 days if you want to stop the service. And this is the same shredding company that the YOC uses, and they've used them for many years. YOC is going to keep doing shredding for juvenile court and juvenile probation because they already have bins in place there, and they have a better discount than I've got because they've been with them for so long, so they've told me that they'll keep them. So I'm going to add a bin at CASA, and then we're going to have one for the courts, and then the clerk's going to have a couple bins, and the adult probation is going to have a bin. So we went with the 96-gallon because they're so big, and they said they pick it up every month, whether it's full, half full, empty. They come every month. It's on a schedule, and they pick it up. We'll be on the same schedule as YOC, so it doesn't cost as much. So I don't know what you want to do. I just know we have 7 totes sitting. Is it 7?
Yeah, I can come on through.
Steve has.
So I checked on it because I talked to a gentleman, Tim Eaton, up in Eaton, who actually runs it all. And he said of October of last year they was done. I know Skip and Larry does about 6 big totes. I don't know how many times. They've done it at least once since I've took over. I haven't really talked to Jimmy what they do here. I have told all the offices here and some of them out there that we're going to have to do something. But yeah, we're going to have to do some type of shredding or something but they'll no longer take it. And I know we're filling up pretty quick, so we'll just have to figure out what we need to do and where we need to take it.
Well, I was not aware that they weren't going to, or hadn't been
Well, by the
wanting
time
it,
I found out,
and that's fine.
you guys, we
Yeah.
hadn't really had a meeting, or
Right.
you guys have been back up. I was trying to catch you and tell you, and then of course everything else has went on. So, but I mean, I've only known it for probably two or 3 weeks because I got ready to dump it up there, and they said they wasn't taking it.
We have needed it, and I do know the prosecutor was very interested because one company was going to take their tapes.
Yeah.
So let us discuss it a little bit more
Okay.
and find the money to.
They will take our backlog of stuff. If you look at the 2 pages after the page I have marked, they'll take backlogs at so much per, like 10 boxes at $32 for 10 boxes. Or we can just keep trying to put as much as we can in each tote every
Yeah.
month and try to get the backlog done. But
And it technically should come out of our budget because it's our
Right.
manpower that was handling it, and I think it'd be very much
But
more
I wanted to
more
before
efficient.
I was like, if we have to take this on, I want to know how much it's going to cost the
Well-
department if you guys weren't going to cover it. So that's why I went ahead and looked at it to see what it would cost a department.
It's mostly all county general money, so.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing your homework, though, on this.
All right.
Jenny, could you send out an email for this building and see if
No.
EMS needs
office
it,
needs?
and sheriff.
Yeah, and extension, there,
Yeah, I knew there'd be other departments. I only hit a few people, and I'm like, okay, well, how much would it cost per department if we all went in on it? And obviously, it's going to be cheaper the more people you have in on it if you guys couldn't cover it in your budget. So.
and we're, thanks to Stephen to be willing to do this, because.
And so what I can do is if you guys are wanting the email from my contact person that I dealt with, I can forward that to
If
you.
you want to go ahead and continue, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks,
That's fine.
Emily.
All right,
Thanks, Stephen. Okay. Any other departments want to speak? Go down to our payment of claims of $2,488,653.93.
I make a motion, we pay the, regular claims.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Miss Reagan.
Yes. Now, before we do this ARP, Donna and Steve,
That's included in the
that was
2 million
included?
four.
Okay, this
It's
is,
just showing you what of the 2
okay,
million
that's
four
what,
was.
that's what I wondered. Thank you very much. We appreciate that being on
So do you want to
there.
state that figure for public, please?
I'm sorry?
Would you state the figure for the
Oh,
public?
for the public, yes. The ARP claims was $124,837.22. That was included. Thank you. Roll call, please.
We already,
Did we?
yeah.
Yep, you already did the, approved the
I've
claim.
slept since then. Okay. Okay, under public comments, we have, you have 3 minutes, and the first speak, well, since the Muncie Land Bank, Ryan Richards from Gaston. Got the timer going there.
John normally
Oh,
keeps
John
it.
gonna do it?
John, you got time?
I do.
Okay.
I won't need all three, but I just wanted to come to you. Like I said, this is once again on solar. Many things that, like I said, things I've been hearing when I've talked to people that are for solar. They talked about we don't need as much corn anymore for ethanol purposes and that type of thing. So I was looking through, of course, on the internet, and there's an article that was written December 3rd of 2021 about a company now that is starting to look into truck engines as far as trucks and tractors to be able to run on 100% ethanol. Their biggest thing is what they were talking about is it says roughly the U.S. is producing about 17 billion gallons of ethanol a year, and every 1% of trucks that would be converted to burning ethanol, they would need to produce another billion gallons of fuel per year. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. There are other avenues of stuff. Like I said, I've read different things as far as long haul trucks, farming. I don't see how electric tractors are ever going to work. When we need to work, we're going sometimes, like I said, anywhere from 18 hours a day. I don't see how you can charge a tractor and be able to get your work done with electric. Same way they talk about long haul. They say short trucks, short hauls and stuff could be beneficial. But as far as long haul trucks and stuff, there's really no way to be able to do that. The only way to do that is through fuel. So you're either going to burn diesel fuel or you're going to have an alternative fuel like ethanol to be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher Bilberry, Muncie. You'll pass? Okay. Anybody? No, that's all we have signed up. So,
Make a motion to recess.
I'll
motion to
second.
recess, February 22nd. Roll call, please.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Miss Reagan.
Yes. Thank you.